looks like a ball sack, does it not? Look. Swing low, sweet chariots. Look, you guys are packing. I'm doing you guys a favor. Look how big your nutsack is, chat.
Stop it. Get some help.
Hi everybody, welcome back to another episode of Giri's Kitchen. This week we're going to be continuing what we made last week, which was the cured salmon or gravlax, and then we're going to be making it into a lox sandwich today, along with the cream of broccoli soup. But not just any sandwich, we're going to be making our own bagels, and we're also going to be making our own cream cheese. So I think it's going to be really fun. If you want to see more content, you know what to do already. Make sure you press the like button, the subscribe button, the notification bell, all those wonderful things, so you can keep up to date with all my uploads. And let's get into the cooking. Making bagels is not very hard. I only made bagels once before, but it shouldn't be very hard. Although you do need your hands. You need a bowl, and then you also need a scale. First thing you need, obviously, this is bread flour. I don't know why the packaging is in Chinese. What's Joey Bagels? Wait, Joey Bagels is a dick? Wait, what are Joey's Bagels is that the name for his pee-pee or something? Wait, what? Is that a nickname for his another region or something? Why does it sound dirty? We're aiming for 400 grams of bread flour. With 400 grams, I'm gonna do 8 grams of yeast. I have instant yeast and 18 grams sugar. And for water, you need 237 grams. So I'm just gonna pour it gently over the yeast so I can hydrate the yeast first. And then you just get your hands in there. So I've only made bread by hand once before, so this will also be a semi-new experience for me. And I think it'll just be kind of fun. You guys can actually see how it is to knead bread. It's actually not very hard. Again, it takes about 10 minutes, but it does need a little bit of elbow grease. You can kind of see now. I don't know if the camera was picking it up earlier, but earlier when we just had the bread, it was kind of lumpy and kind of shaggy, and now it's starting to smooth out a little bit. It's still not fully smooth. We're not done yet. I'm still going to keep on kneading, but you can kind of see how it's like a little bit smoother now, a little bit better, not as lumpy. So we're going to keep going. This bread looking as lumpy as Giri, not as lumpy as your mom.
Excuse me, what?
Can you massage my ass? Here, put your ass right here. Put your ass right here. I'm gonna put in a little bit of oil.
Yeah, boy.
So I'm just kind of tossing it a little bit to make sure the sides are also coated with oil. So I'm gonna cover with saran wrap. I'm gonna put it in my proofer, and we're gonna proof this for 30 minutes to 45 minutes. So I'm gonna preheat your oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna make the cream cheese. Apparently it's just milk, lemon, salt for taste, I guess, but that's pretty much it. So before we actually start doing anything, I'm gonna have a little bowl here, and I'm gonna start squeezing my lemon juice out. You need about 2 to 3 tablespoons, I think. And all you have to do apparently is just boil the milk and then put lemon juice in it and let it curdle, and then strain it, and then season it with salt, and then that's pretty much it. I can do this. Who knew squeezing lemons would be so hard?
That's what she said.
Lemon juice is ready, and all we need is milk. Recipe: 1 liter of milk to 2 to 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. This is 1 liter, so I'm gonna pour the whole milk in, the whole carton in. And then we're just gonna heat this up until boiling. And then once it starts to boil, we'll put the lemon juice in, and then we'll slowly mix everything, and hopefully it'll be beautiful. So we're not doing anything. Here, I'll dance. But you know, hold on, my precious. Okay, you got a free golden impression as well. I'm gonna do 2 first and see what happens, and then if we need to add more, we'll add more. But the heat is still on right now. I didn't turn the heat off yet. I put in 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, and then we'll see. It's starting to curdle. Do you guys see that? It's starting to curdle. Look. Oh, this is so cool. So you can see how, like I said earlier, this whole liter of milk will not actually end up being all cream cheese. You can see how the curds are only a little bit left over compared to the extra liquid that we're going to be throwing out. That's why it won't actually yield a lot of cream cheese. It'll just be a little bit. Slowly pour it in so it can drain. You just grab the corners to make sure that all the corners are up here. You want to make sure, okay? And then it's very, very hot, so be careful, okay? It looks like a ball sack. It looks like Chat's drippy ball sack.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
It's a little hot, but what you want to do is basically caress the nutsack So this looks squeezed out enough. You can see how little cream cheese is left. Like that's why like 1 carton looks like a lot, but it actually only yields like 2 servings of cream cheese almost. Oh, it looks like a butt.
Damn, boy, he's thick.
The next step is actually to incorporate a little. So right now it's quite solid. We want to thin it out just a little bit, and also we want to season it a little bit as well. I don't know if this is possible with the food processor I have here. We're gonna try and see if it works out because this is quite a small yield for this large of a food processor. But we're gonna see what happens. I'm gonna add a little bit of water. You can add milk if you want, but the original recipe said water is okay. So I'm just gonna add a splash and I'm gonna put the lid on and I hope to God this works.
A few moments later.
Look. So it was really crumbly earlier. It was really crumbly earlier, almost like feta cheese or like goat cheese, and now it's like a nice smooth consistency. The more traditional way of making donuts, okay, is to put honey and a little bit of salt. Did I say donuts again?
Flashback.
Making donuts.
End of flashback.
Okay, yeah, my donuts are ready. I mean, my bagels are ready. I don't know anymore. My something is ready. The dough, when we started off, if you guys remember, it can fit almost in 1 palm. And right now it is quite big. This is comparison to my hand. We're gonna put a little bit of flour. One way to test if your dough is fully risen or not is to do the poke test. You put a little bit of flour on your finger or on the surface of your dough, and then if you poke it and the hole stays there and does not seal up, that means that your dough has fully risen, okay? So we're gonna do the poke test. Basically, you just have to kind of flatten it out roughly into like, I don't know, a circle. It's already in a circle, so it should be fine the way that it is. And then just make it into a ball. You basically take out the bagel and then kind of roll it into a cute little ball. Before we start making it into bagel shapes, which is like poking the hole through it, we're gonna poke a hole through the bagels, like this.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Say it, like this. Okay, to make it a bagel shape, and then we're gonna drop it in the water 1 by 1, and then put it onto a baking tray, and then we're gonna pop it into the oven afterwards, okay? Egg wash will give your bagels a nice golden color, okay? So, and it also helped the bagel seasoning stick on top of the bagels. I'm just breaking up the eggs a little bit to prepare for the egg wash, so it's ready to go. And then once the water is ready, we can start forming the holes in the donuts, the bagels. I must stop talking. This is what you gotta do. This is no kappa, okay? No kappa. You basically make a hole. You wanna puncture it with your finger. You wanna make a hole, and then you wanna slowly make that hole bigger and bigger. Just enlarge it, just gape it. So this is our first one. I'm just gonna drop it in the water. Ooh, okay, and then I'm gonna use chopsticks. I'm gonna flip this one. You can kind of see how it also grew in the water a little bit. You can compare the sizes. This one's a lot bigger than this one. It will rise and grow in the water because heat kind of makes the yeast rise. So this side give it 1 minute, and this side give 1 minute. So bagels are done boiling. So now we can put it in the oven. Like I said earlier, the oven has been preheating at 425 degrees Fahrenheit or 218 degrees Celsius. So you do need a slightly higher temperature for this. So now that they're done boiling, we're gonna egg wash. The egg wash will give it a nice golden color, so it looks nice and appetizing. It'll also help the seasoning stick on top of your bagels. If you do not like seasoning, if you like plain donuts, that's totally fine. You're just a weirdo, I can accept that. So this is the one that I have. This is just a Trader Joe's version. Everything but the bagel sesame or whatever sesame thing. I'm just gonna sprinkle it on, I think. I'm gonna put the donuts in the oven now. 425 degrees Fahrenheit, 218 degrees Celsius for 20 minutes. We're gonna start the soup now because I feel like in 20 minutes or so-ish, it should be good enough time for us to finish the soup. So we're gonna do like the onions and the garlic, the carrots, all those things first, and then we can start cooking the actual roux and the soup. I just have 4 pieces of like large garlic, and then this is just gonna be a fine chop. And then I have onion. Onion, you can just dice it. And then obviously we're making cream of broccoli soup, so you can't forget the broccoli. Don't forget to buy broccoli, which is what I did. I forgot to buy broccoli yesterday, so I had to go out yesterday to get some more broccoli, because I am a professional streamer, I totally don't forget to buy the main ingredient to whatever I'm making. I have a grater. I'm just gonna grate my carrot because I'm too lazy to chop it into little slices. Oh God, my table is shaking. So we're looking for about 50 grams of butter for this amount of soup. I'm just gonna have my heat on medium right now. I'm gonna slowly start melting the butter, and I'm just gonna have a spoon, just swish it around a little bit, and then we're gonna slowly cook down the onions. We're not looking to caramelize the onions, just cooking it down and sweating it down is good enough.
20 minutes later.
Oh, look at my bagels! I made bagels, look! Oh my God! So right now we're just using the butter to cook down some of the carrots and stuff like that. And then once the carrots are more cooked down and more mushy, I'm gonna grab 1/6 cup of flour. So basically I have a 1/3 cup. I'm just gonna roughly eyeball half of that. Put the flour in. We're gonna let that cook down just a little bit, just to kind of make sure the flour is kind of incorporated into the onion, into the garlic. And also we're gonna cook down the flour a little bit so it's not so raw when we're putting in the liquid. So once it looks like the white powder is kind of all gone, kind of making it into like a nice mushy lump. I have room temperature water. I'm just gonna eyeball the amount of water that I need. And if I need to add more, I can add more. It's not a big deal. So I'm just putting in some chicken bouillon. If you have chicken stock, that's obviously a little bit better, especially if you have a nice high quality one, or some beef stock. I'm just lazy. So I'm just using water and chicken powder instead. And then I'm gonna stir it around. Make sure it's thickening and boiling. I'm gonna turn the heat up a little bit. And once it boils, I'm gonna add in the broccoli. And then once everything starts to cook down and emulsify, then we can start adding in like salt and stuff. So you don't have to season it right now. Season it a little bit later once all the ingredients are in, and then you can have a better idea of what everything tastes like, and then we can adjust seasoning. More salt, less salt, all that stuff. I'm going to be adding in cream at the very end to make, basically, obviously it's cream of broccoli soup, so there has to be some kind of creamy, milky agent going to the soup as well. I prefer using evaporated milk, but you can also use half and half. You can use whipping cream, any kind of cream, even milk, regular milk is good enough, but I happen to have evaporated milk, so I'll be using this instead to kind of make the creamy agent. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're going to start prepping for the rest of our sandwich now. Because it's a lox sandwich, there's gonna be some, not green onion, sorry, red onion. We have capers. We have the cream cheese that we made earlier. We're gonna cut into the cured salmon we made last week. I'm gonna fry an egg on it later, I think, as well. So there's gonna be a lot of creamy components in there. I feel like I don't really need to soak the onions this time. But if you're the type of person that doesn't really enjoy the spiciness of onions, then feel free to just soak it in a little bit of cold water and then fish it up. So just slice this as thin as you can. You want nice thin little bites. Okay, I'm gonna try. I actually haven't tried it since I cured it. Wait, hold on, this is so good. Wait, am I a genius?
No.
Should I do one at a time or? Okay, I'll do one without salmon. OniBro actually requested one without salmon because he's a weirdo. And here's the completed dish. We made cream of broccoli soup, and we also made a lox sandwich with the smoked salmon, the cured salmon that we made last week. We have a runny fried egg on top as well. I think it turned out really, really well. It looks really, really pretty. I can't wait to dig in. If you guys ever do try it, I highly, highly recommend that you try this cured salmon. It turned out really, really yummy. It's super smooth, it's salty, it's rich, it's briny. I think it turned out really yummy. So I do recommend that you guys try it, and if you do, leave a comment down below. I would love to hear how it turned out for you. And of course, just remember, if you want to see more content, make sure you click the like button, the subscribe button, the notification bell, all that stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thank you, everyone. Bye.